those good looks.
Yeah, we just been having that same mindset. I've kind of talked about the last couple of games. Prior to those games, we came out in the second half a little lackadaisical and let them get to good hot starts. So I just felt like we really dialed in and locked in mentally in the second half to just take away those easy shots that we kind of gave them in the first half, and just kind of make their looks a little harder. They're great players. They hit tough shots, but kind of live with those tough shots. Just as long as we stop fouling, play with our feet.
KJ, for you, Julian, Javon, Rafa had pretty good games off the bench today. I think they combined for 23 points. What have you seen from those guys in practice that were you kind of expecting maybe a breakout from those guys in a game like this?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody's capable of having a game like that. In practice, we were working really hard, extremely hard. And, especially going up against those guys, it shows, how deep our team is. But, I mean, they're capable of doing that on any given night. And, it's good to see them, get it going, and then hopefully they could build off of it. But they're just great players, and, it's just a testament to how hard we've been practicing.
3 wins in a row. What are y'all seeing out of this team right now that maybe was missing at the beginning of the year?
I would just say consistency. Being locked in for 40 minutes, coming out strong in the second half, till the first media timeout. And once again, that starts in practice. Kind of repeating myself here, but we've been trying to condition ourselves to not lose the ball on offense, take care of the ball, and apparently it translates. So we got to keep doing that, and it's one of our biggest keys, keeping the ball in our hands and making sure we get a great shot for the team.
KJ, third game in a row, the team has shot over 50%. You've gotten to be at home. Maybe a couple opponents that you were expected to handle here, but offensively, it was kind of a ragged November and early December. Do you feel like the team is maybe starting to find its identity a little bit more offensively?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now that we're done with school, I mean, a lot of guys have taken the time out to come in the gym and work on themselves individually, shooting the ball, taking care of the ball, things like that. So it's just a testament, like I said, how hard we've been working and in practice and also on our free time, getting in the gym, getting those reps up. So that's why in the game it's the same exact, way.
Do you guys feel like you're the Kings of Colorado now that you beat CSU and UNC?
Hey. I mean, we just great to have back-to-back wins, honestly.
Yeah.
3 in a row. We're just looking to, really get that going and get a start going. But it is nice, you get a little bragging rights.
All right, that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was good good win for us. You know, I knew coming in UNC had some really dynamic offensive players, and I think anybody that was at the game tonight or listened to it or watched it probably knows why. I was a little nervous coming into tonight's game because obviously Dalen's a special kid. Started his career here, and the Connect kid is a Colorado kid, and so was Johnson. So three Colorado kids came in here and really tried to give it to us, and I knew they would be tough to guard, and they were. We didn't finish the game like I wanted, but we're doing some really good things. We were good again offensively tonight, sharing the ball, efficiency on offense, and we rebounded the ball well. I just think we can finish a little bit better than we did tonight. We took some bad shots down the stretch, and defense got a little soft, started fouling again, which was my fear, going into this game. But it's a good win against a team that's going to win a lot of games in the Big Sky this year.
Tristan, another career-high night for him. I think everybody kind of expected him to have a larger role with Jabari not being around this year, but what have you liked so much about him, his game? I think he's like 6 straight double figures. What have you liked so much
He's
about
playing with a lot of confidence. Coaches love players that have confidence, and Tristan's got it. I know KJ's got it, and you can never doubt yourself when you're out there, and I think Tristan's playing himself into a really confident player. Not that he wasn't before, but now he's – you can just tell his demeanor on the floor is a little bit different, and so he's not going to have 26 every night. But boy, when he puts pressure on the defense, because he's such a matchup problem. You can post him up against smaller players. He can stretch the floor and hit threes against bigger guys. He can shot fake and put the ball on the floor and get by guys and make plays at the rim. And so he's a special talent, and we knew that when we recruited him. And now it's nice to see. His junior year, he's starting to come into that player. And I thought KJ tonight was, 7 for 10 from the field, 2 for 2 from the line, or from three-point line and the free throw line. His most efficient game, certainly offensively for us as well. So when those two guys are going, and we got some great, minutes from Julian Hammond off the bench and Javon Ruffin off the bench. I thought those guys were both terrific tonight, coming in and giving us a spark. And because you have to keep scoring against UNC because it's hard to stop those guys. It really is. They're a talented offensive team, as talented of an offensive team as we've played all year long.
Congrats on the 261 wins, tying the record with Coach Sox Walsa.
Thank you.
What does this win mean to you and your legacy to you?
Well, look, Sox's name's on the court. I never got the opportunity to meet him, unfortunately, but I've met many members of his family who are season ticket holders to this day, have been since the day I got here and even previous to my being here. So the Walseth family is a special family. Sox was a special man, and I'm honored to be, in his company. And we had 5 guys here from UNC, guys that I coached, Neil Kingman and Devin Beitzel, Will Figures, Terry Anderson, and Taylor Montgomery. And I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for those 5 guys and other guys like them that, played their tails off for the Bears, just like those kids did tonight. And so when you see players that, you're thankful for having, number one, coached them, and now you see them, they're all grown, and they've got wives, they got kids, they got families, they're all successful, they got good jobs, they're employed, they got their degrees. It's really heartwarming, so I got a little emotional on the radio. I'm getting emotional now, but I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Northern Colorado and players like those 5.
Going back to Tristan, obviously the scoring's been great,
Yep.
but are you, how encouraged are you about the rebounding totals he's had these 2 games?
Really encouraged. We were without Luke O'Brien tonight, and Luke O'Brien's, brought a lot of energy to this team, and I thought had 2 of his better games, but he was out, so we knew we had to pick up the rebounding. Tristan's done that 2 games in a row now. I hate to nitpick, but he only had 1 offensive. I'd like that to be 2 or 3 or 4, But when he's got, 9 or 10 rebounds a game, or 8 to 10, that's really, really helps us. So rebound is a big part, and we knew, Pat, we talked about it before the season started with Jabari leaving. I think we've done a pretty good job on the boards, but we also know we're going to play against bigger, stronger, more athletic teams, so it's something we got to continue to emphasize. And Tristan hopefully can incorporate that part of his game on a consistent basis.
You mentioned Javon and Julian coming off the bench, giving you some good minutes, 23 points combined. How difficult are you guys to beat when those two guys are having the nights they did?
We're really hard because when KJ plays well and Javon Hadley, he gives us everything he's got every night, and Tristan, and then, Neek and Lawson, they're going to have nights where they're maybe more productive than others, but when they're not, have somebody come off the bench. And the thing about this team, it might be Julian and Ruff tonight, it might be Jalen and Ethan, the next game, or somebody else. So we need more than just 2 or 3 or 4 guys. I mean, we need it's a team effort, and so our bench play, and we talked about that before this game. The major advantage we had over UNC was our bench, and we wanted to get into our bench and get them to get into theirs, because they play those 3 guys, those 3 perimeter guys, a lot of minutes. So you try to wear them down as best you can.
I'm personally curious just about Luke O'Brien's status. He was active on Thursday, and was it something during practice?
Yeah, I hope we have him back. We'll see. It's something between him and the trainer, and we'll kind of get a read on that over the next couple of days. But hopefully we'll have him back for Thursday. I don't know if we will or we won't. It's out of my control. It's out of his control. So we'll see.
Coach, that's 3 wins in a row on the year, or in a row. What are you seeing out of this team right now that you didn't see at the beginning of the year?
Well, look, part of it's our schedule, right? You look at our schedule early in the year, and I've talked about our schedule a lot, and I didn't know how difficult it was going to be until we actually experienced it, I wish, I've got some regrets, I wish I would have held some of those games. I wish we were going to Grambling now rather than going, the second game of the season, when we obviously weren't ready for that. Today we might be ready for that. I don't know if we would win or not, but I think we'd be more ready than we are today. But that's not the way the schedule always works out. And, to have one of your first 6 games at home, part of this now is due to the schedule. So let's be real about that. And part of it's we're playing better. And, again, you expect your team to be better in December than it was in November. I think we are. And I sure as heck expect us to be better in January than we are in December. And that's hopefully in February as well. And that's what I want from this team, is continued improvement and understanding as the season plays out. Not that we're going to win every game, but you're going to be rock solid in the areas we need to be rock solid in.
You mentioned a couple weeks ago needing to get your most efficient players the more shots.
Yes.
Do you feel like at this point you guys are finding that recipe? Today it's KJ, Javon, Tristan all in double-figure shots, and it's no secret those guys have been really efficient so far this season. Do you feel like you guys offensively are finding the right recipe?
I think we are. Javon Hadley was not as efficient tonight as he normally is. He's been shooting like 70-some% from the field, last few games. He was 4 for 11. KJ has not been efficient, night in and night out. And he's 7 for 10 tonight, very efficient, 2 for 2 from 3. Tristan is probably our most, he and Javon Hadley are 2 most consistent, efficient offensive players. But when we get efficiency up and down the lineup, that's when we're pretty darn good. And that's what we're shooting for, is take great shots for our team, take care of the ball. Offensively, if we can do those 2 things, get great shots for our team and take care of the ball, our offense will be just fine.
Kind of along those lines, Ted, you mentioned recently that you thought your team was close to where you wanted to be, defense and rebounding wise. Offensively, though, was the place you needed improvement. Are you starting to see it? Do you feel like this team's starting to get its identity offensively?
Yeah, absolutely. You look at our turnovers in the last 3 games. We've had 29 turnovers combined in the last 3 games. KJ, I mentioned, I've been on him on his assisted turnover ratio after tonight, this night, and the last game, he's 10 assists, 2 turnovers. It's fantastic. That's efficiency. Obviously, we talked about Tristan and those guys coming off the bench. So, yeah, our offense is coming and our defense is coming. Now we got to put them together. And what I want from our team is I just want to be rock solid. Defensively, we just got to get rid of the breakdowns. And we had some tonight in our ball screen. They were picking and popping and slipping out of ball screens. We talked about it in practice. We worked on it. We didn't guard the ball as well as we need to guard the ball the last 2 games. So there's still a lot of room for improvement. I don't want people to think, well, they won 3 in a row. Man, they're rolling. Like, we still have a lot of areas we have to get better at individually and And as a team, I feel like our team is starting to understand that, though, and with some of the areas that have shown improvement.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you.
Thanks.